What is up YouTube? It's Kingfisher745, and in this video we're finally going to unlock Hybrid. So that's right, we'll take a look at us getting the final cover, the entire comic book cover collection, Hybrid's very own storyline, and we'll take a look at him in lower level action. So what are we waiting on? Let's go ahead and get started. I have to say this final cover took me forever to get, but the last one that I was missing is number 7 of 8. Also, along the way, I've only managed to get one of his ISO, and that's the Lashing Augmented ISO 8. So it's only a 5 gold A ISO. It's not exactly the one that I would use on his level 9, but at least it was free, and it does grant his level 9 Lashing Out. This says Lasher removes all beneficial status effects. But here we have it, that final cover that I was missing, Venom the Hunted Volume 1, Number 1. And there's Hybrid's recruitment animation, and now the only character that I'm missing is Sam Alexander, aka Nova. And currently I'm sitting around 2,000 ratings, so I should be able to win him as well. Alright, and let's get some reading in. These symbiotes aren't like the others, Agent. In fact, I owe them a lot. You see, they were just in pain, tortured, alone, like I was. They thought they needed me to ease their pain when it was really me that needed them. I could have been another Carnage or Venom, but they kept me from going over the edge. Now, I have you to thank for freeing us. We have a chance to prove ourselves again. We won't waste it. Alright, so powerful words from Hybrid himself. And now let's go ahead and check out his comic cover collection. First up in the collection is Carnage USA Volume 1, Number 1. This is a fantastic cover, and I really am thinking about going out and finding these back issues, and then maybe I could make a video on that as well. Let me know if that's something that you would be interested in the comment section below. But next up is Venom Along Came a Spider Volume 1, Number 2. And that's going to be followed by Carnage USA Volume 1, Number 2. Then quickly moving on to the last cover in the first row, it's going to be Venom Along Came a Spider Volume 1, Number 3. So there we have the top row of the collection, and now let's move on to the final 4. First up we have Venom Along Came a Spider Volume 1, Number 4. That one's going to be followed by Venom Along Came a Spider Volume 1, Number 1. So we get slightly out of order in this collection, but I suppose they have their reasons. Next we have my most hated cover because it took me forever to get, and that's Venom the Hunted Volume 1, Number 1. Then finally we have Venom Volume 2, Number 15. And there you have it, all 8 covers of the Hybrid comic cover collection. Now let's go ahead and read through his storyline, and then we're going to take a look at his costumes, and we will end with him in action. I was a guardsman at the Vault. You know, the maximum security prison for supervillains. Except I hardly ever saw the inmates. They had me assigned to the labs. It seemed like a decent gig. Wear some cool armor, babysit a bunch of scientists, and try not to think about what they're experimenting on, or who. The symbiotes started talking to me, screaming at me. The scientists were torturing them, mutilating them. They begged me to end their pain. So yeah, I let them go. Any decent person would have. Too bad my bosses weren't decent people. When they found out what I'd done, they fired me on the spot. With no money, my brother and I had to move back to the hood. We weren't there a week before we got caught in a drive-by. My brother was killed, and I was paralyzed. I was ready to end it there, but before I could, the symbiotes found me. They gave me back my legs, but more than that, they gave me a purpose. Bringing justice to the helpless. I call them my roommates. I got few complaints, but it gets kind of crowded with 4 other voices in your head. Especially when they've all gone crazy with Goblin Serum. But that's behind us now. You saved us, and we owe you a debt. Time to start paying up. So there you go, Hybrid doesn't sound like a bad guy. And now that we've finally got all 8 covers, we can go ahead and buy each of his other costumes, but unfortunately they will cost 30 CP each. If you're wondering which one to buy first, for me it would be the Bruiser, so that's exactly what I'm going to do, and I'm going to equip it right now. Then after that I'm going to buy his other classes as well, because I am lucky enough to have some CP saved up, and you never know when a different class may come in handy. You of course do get a different passive with the different classes, but unfortunately the only thing I don't like is you lose an E-ISO slot. And Hybrid does have a number of very good EISO in the store. Not to mention all the existing EISO for the various classes, or the general ones. But I guess that's just a sacrifice that we'll have to make. Now as far as the store-bought EISO for Hybrid, I've only been able to get one. And I bought this symbiote one that works for Agent Venom, as well as Anti-Venom. It's called the Genetic Memory Empowered ISO 8, and it grants symbiotic synergy. All allies with the symbiote gain an increase to accuracy, attack, defense, and evasion. So I got this one because it's the most versatile, as you can even use it for 2 other heroes besides Hybrid. So yeah, basically with this one you're getting the most mileage for your gold. And there we see Hybrid with his Riot Attack, which is pretty nice, and of course it does do max stacks of bleeding because we're using the Bruiser ult. Once we're able to get more of his customized ISO, or if you were lucky enough to win it, you can make a very nasty bleed setup. For example, his Riding AISO says, Riot gains exploits bleeds, dealing extra damage against bleeding targets. Then you can cause his Agony or Lasher to gain Hemorrhage, causing all applications of bleeding to trigger. And that's with the Quilled AISO. Plus there's a lot more to choose from, so I can't wait to team him up with Anti-Venom, Drax, X-23, you name it. Any bleed setup is going to be amazing. But that's just the tip of the iceberg with this character. He has plenty more ults and so much customization that he's going to be a blast to build around. So make sure you stay tuned because I am on a mission to level him as fast as I can. And I will definitely bring you many setups and teams for this amazing hero. As for this unlocking video, we're coming to the end, but I would like to thank you all for watching. I'd also like to ask you to please like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, good luck and take care.